See, EOU is a specialized agency set up by Government of India under the name, as far as our state is concerned, by name CSEZ, Cochin Special Economic Zone, which controls Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. Usually, this EOU unit, when it is set up, it has got a various benefits under the Customs Act. Like you can import freely your raw material or a capital goods under a 0% duty that you export in future and earn foreign exchange positive within a span of 5 years or whatever it is. So when this benefit is given by the government of India to you for the what is it called exporting it for the purpose of exporting it or whatever you say, the government also implies you statutory obligations on you. Certain records needs to be maintained. Very important is the bonded premise concept. When you import anything, it has to be kept in the bonded premise. It should not be kept outside your bonded premise. For example, in a unit, your bonded premise is 15,000 square feet from bottom to up, let us say 3 floors. Let us assume that you have bonded all the 3 floors in this. But unfortunately, you have not bonded your cellar and your open terrace, which is upstairs. What usually the company does a mistake is the imported air cooler, air ducting, which is a centralized air condition, has to be kept in the terrace. So they keep it in the terrace and they would have availed the duty benefit under the EOU norms. I'm giving you just an example to say that, which is a non-compliance. When they keep it up, the department says that it is a non-compliance of the EOU. A generator which is kept in the cellar is a non-compliance of EOU. Why? Because the generator, even though you have procured locally, you would have got an excise duty exemption by way of a CT3 declaration, which are available only to EOU units. And also you would have availed the duty benefit on the imported items, which is available to only your units. When you non-comply, the penalty is going to be double the duty saved or the double the excise duty saved. So what happens? You are at a fault for no fault of yours, just ignorance of the act, or ignorance is not the excuse under the law. Taxmen know very well where people do mistakes. So we have to be very compliant in the EOU regulation. What is bonded premise? What is the rules of the bonded premise? How we should react? A bonded premise has got various rules, not only keeping the goods inside. If you want to sell it later date because it is a no use to you, you should debond it. As per the procedure, you should have completed your export obligations, then only you are empowered to sell it. Second, you want to move some of the products to your unit B or a branch B in Maharashtra. You cannot take the bonded goods, move it as such. You need to take permission from the appropriate authorities to move it to one more bonded premise. Bonded goods cannot be moved to the unbonded premise. It should be only to the bonded premise till your EOU obligation is set. That means you may ask me a question whether I am empowered to say my floor 1 as a EOU unit, floor 2 as a non-domestic unit or a domestic unit. Yes, of course you are at liberty. Floor 2 can be a domestic unit without bonding the goods. Floor 1 can be a EOU unit. But the question is, both should have a separate entrance. The movement of goods from this floor to that floor should not hamper the rules of the EOU. That is the only thing. And you need to maintain the records for both the units separately to prove the export obligation. Any removal of goods or any addition to goods, both are governed by the EOU Act. EOU is a facility available for all the units except software units. Where software, as you know, it is covered by STPA, software technology, or a hardware is covered by ESTPA, electronic and hardware. Other than any IT enabled services also comes under the EOU. It is not that services does not come under the EOU. The difference between a EOU and SEZ majorly is very SEZ has got a permission for a service tax exemption, whereas EOU does not have an exemption for service tax. They have to pay the service tax and then they can claim it as a refund. Even the HGP has to pay the service tax, claim it as a refund. There is no question of exemption available. Like lot of EOU are not aware that there is a compliance of CST. They have a right to get CST refund. What is CST? CST is nothing but whatever the VAT I have paid on my interstate purchases. 2% or 10% or 5%, whatever. When I am paying a tax on interstate purchases, I am eligible to get this as a refund from the Cochin Special Economic Zone, provided that I submit the records in due date. That I have paid the people and I have issued the forms. CST that refunds you the portion of the CST to you back. It may be a big revenue depending on your turnover or a small revenue depending on your turnover. But this benefit is available. This is also again a compliance matter.